Good evening and welcome to Sports Plus. We've got stories of loud supporters and a Special Olympics star. But tonight we start across the pond where the Cardinals finished up their London series against the Cubs. The Cardinals are probably somewhere over the Atlantic Ocean right about now, headed home from a weekend of fanfare abroad. I'm not sure if they converted any British folks to become Cardinals fans, but I do know their last impression was better than their first. And so for tonight's main event, let's head to foggy London town for the series finale. The game began at 3:10 London time, and seeing the ball was trouble. Paul DeYoung with the error in the first. Nico Horner then stole second and went to third with the ball getting away from Nolan Gorman. It was 3-0 when this Miguel Amaya shot ate up Nolan Arenado. Quick, the Cards were down by 4. But they chipped away in the second. Brendan Donovan ropes one to right. Gorman's gonna score, and so is Jordan Walker, who slides in to make it 4-3. Walker would go on to extend his hitting streak to 15 games with an RBI single in the third, which tied the game. And then in the fourth, it's Paul Goldschmidt. Nice piece of hitting right there. Tommy Edman head first slide into home. Cardinals go up 7-4. And finally, some great work by the bullpen. Jordan Hicks gives up a run, but finishes it off with a flourish. Cards win 7-5.
Obviously, baseball isn't the main sport in Europe, and so I think for us to, have a big crowd like that and, get the crowd kind of excited. Thankfully, today we had a little bit more of an exciting game for the fans to enjoy. So I just think anytime that you can come out here and kind of try to grow the game a little bit, it's big. And, hopefully they leave today and, we inspired some kids to go out there, buy a glove, buy a bat, and, go in the backyard and play a little bit.
Espinosa right foot targeting back push header. Oh, Roman Berkey, an unbelievable diamond save, gluing fingernails on shots like manicurist night on a slow-moving party bus.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
How many wins has Roman Berkey rescued for City SC with insane saves like that this year? It's at least a few. The boys in City Red pulled off one of their best wins of the season last night in San Jose, beating the Earthquakes team who hadn't lost a game at home since September of last season. Berkey's 8 saves in the 2-1 win were certainly clutch, and so was the recently recalled Sam Adeniran. Fresh off his loan to San Antonio in the USL, Adeniran scored his first 2 MLS goals in his first MLS start. He could be the offensive spark this shorthanded team desperately needs.
I had a chat with Lutz a couple of days ago, and Lutz, suggested, why don't we get him back? He's a menace. He uses his body well. He can run the line.
From what I saw in this game, everyone was on it. Everyone was focused. Everyone was ready to compete. Everyone was ready to go all out.
Well, before City got that big win in California, they were here at City Park on Wednesday. And after weeks of seeing and hearing the most enthusiastic supporter section in MLS, I had to go check it out for myself. With the help of photographer Tom Stasiak, here's a taste of what we saw.
Let's go City! Woo!
There's nothing else like it. I've never experienced anything like it.
When I say
Horse steak, you say mafia. Horse steak,
mafia,
horse steak.
mafia.
We've come back just for this game, so we leave to go to Australia on Tuesday.
Oh, I'm so sorry. If you want ice cream, go to section 139, and brisket mac and cheese is at 148. It will be echoing on multiple occasions. It gets very, very, very loud.
It's so much fun to be out here with everybody. You get to know so many people, and you get to see the same people week in, week out, and you're just having a big party with them every time. It's great.
St. Louis fans, they support their sports true, and we're showing it here every single game.
We just do what we can, do our part.
Honestly, the first game I cried. I broke down because I was at the game with my wife and sitting there thinking of something that would never happen and happen.
I'm not gonna lie, I think this is the most fun ticket in town right now. Sorry, not to throw shade on anybody else, but this is absolutely a blast every single week.
While the big party may be inside City Park, do not sleep on the pregame party over here on 21st Street. It's unlike anything else you've ever seen in St. Louis sports.
It's a dream just to march and walk in here every single time. It really is.
We all love each other. We're a group. We're a family. We row together. I always say row together.
When you do get inside, be prepared to stand all game. Maybe bring some earbuds too.
It's like the best version of church you've ever been to, except church and the Dallas Cowboys had or the St. Louis Cardinals had a baby, and then those two things combined, you get the elation and the ups and downs of a good sermon, but you also get beer thrown on you. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Looking for Joachini inside. It's there. Nico Joachini can't stop scoring.
Takes a lot of arm muscle.
Yeah, it can be exhausting, especially on these hot days.
You've got a lot of chanting, a lot of screaming, a lot of high fives. It's where you want to be. Even the away fans say, wow.
Yeah. There's not a better group of supporters anywhere in this country.
Everybody here, we're friends, we're family, so it makes it awesome.
Still to come, we chat with Jeremy Rutherford about the latest Blues drama, and I'll introduce you to a dominant Special Olympics athlete who I just know you're going to love.
If we can't see the value of, let's say, trading for a player with multiple years on his contract, knowing that we're going to get value throughout that and he can help with the development, we're not going to do it.
It is about that time. Doug Armstrong is ready to work his magic. In fact, he's already tried to pull off at least one big trade that so far has one big roadblock. I chatted with the Athletics' Jeremy Rutherford to get the inside scoop for this week's Sunday Conversation. It's my pleasure to welcome the Athletics' Jeremy Rutherford, who's been on the Blues beat and a lot of the drama here lately. Let's get right to it. Walk me through this drama, the Blues and Flyers deal that was, maybe now isn't. Kevin Hayes, why is he someone the Blues would be targeting?
Yeah, this is a situation that's had a lot of drama the last 24 hours, thinking that it was a deal that could get done relatively soon. There's a lot of parts to it, so you knew that it would take some time, but now here we are 24 hours later and still no deal. The behind the scenes is this: Torrey Krug was asked to waive his no trade clause, and as we speak, he's not willing to do so. That would make the deal go through. The Blues would then get Kevin Hayes, the center from the Philadelphia Flyers. Also, it looks like they would get Travis Sanheim in the deal. Sanheim is a left shot defenseman, so he would switch spots with Torrey Krug, and the Blues would send a first-round pick to the Philadelphia Flyers. But until they get that willingness to waive the no-trade clause from Krug, there is no deal.
Kevin Hayes seems to be the big piece that the Blues want to get from Philadelphia in this. What would he bring to the team if this does go through?
Well, he's a early 30-year-old center who's been around the league for a while, signed a huge contract. A lot of people at the time said that it was a bloated contract. He still has 3 more years left on that at $7.1 million AAV. As I mentioned, Philly would likely retain up to 50% of that for the next 3 years. They're not going to be a competitive team. They're in a retool, and so they're willing to eat some of that contract to bring him here. You know, he would slot in as a top 9 center, go in and help guys like Robert Thomas, perhaps Braden Shen. Hey, don't close the door on Ryan O'Reilly coming back. If this Kevin Hayes deal doesn't work, perhaps the Blues put more pursuit on Ryan O'Reilly. We'll see. But, you know, Hayes isn't anybody who I think is going to knock the fans' socks off. But I think he's a guy who, like I said earlier, can come in and give you a reliable player.
A name fans have certainly liked to dream about acquiring is the local kid out in Arizona, Clayton Keller. Is that just wishful thinking, or is there something there?
I think at this point it's wishful thinking. He had a severe injury last year, came back and had a terrific season 37 goals, just dynamite. He's a terrific player. The likes of Patrick Kane, that's the type of skill that he has. The thing is, Arizona seems to be wanting to get better. They have a ton of draft picks, so it's not like you can throw more draft picks at them. They own every single pick in the draft, it seems like. And Clayton Keller gives them a chance to win sooner than later. Obviously, they need star-type players. Clayton Keller is one of those. And from what I'm being told at the moment is that he's not available.
3 first-round picks definitely bring some excitement. What would you say the odds of the Blues having all of those picks by Wednesday actually are? And if they do have those picks, what kind of players are they looking for in the draft?
Yeah, probably a week or so ago, I would have said that there's a 30-40% chance that they would keep all 3 of those first-round picks. But now I think that Doug Armstrong has shown his cards. He's willing to include one of those first-round picks in this deal with Philadelphia. So I think he's telling us right now that that's what he wants to do. So whether it be Philly and Kevin Hayes or whether it be another team, it appears that he wants to trade one of these late first-round picks. So I think they're going to make the number 10 pick. Doug Armstrong has stood by that. I just asked him the other day, still saying that you're going to keep that pick. He said yes. But one of those late first-round picks, you're talking about 25 and 29. Of course, they got them from Toronto and the New York Rangers in the O'Reilly and the Tarasenko deals. I think they're probably going to move one of those. And as far as using the other one, I think it's a situation where they can get a good player. This is a good draft, but that type of player late in the first round is not a guy that's going to make a big impact in the next 3 years. That's a player who's going to help you maybe 4 or 5 years down the road.
Florida trying to force a deciding Game 3 in the College World Series against LSU, and the Gators did just that. They hit 6 homers and set a men's record for runs in a game, nearly set another for margin of victory. They lost a heartbreaker last night, but win today 24-4, so it's winner take all tomorrow night. There might not be a group of athletes that truly love sports more than Special Olympians. In the pools of Missouri, one Warrenton woman has crafted quite an athletic career, and she recently had a moment that showed what sports is all about. With photographer Randy Schwenker, we head to the pool for this week's Spotlight Story.
She's like a fish. She is.
Once you get Libby Waddell in the pool, it's hard to get her out.
Oh, she's amazing. She is amazing. Always has been. Always happy, always sarcastic. Loves cherry pie.
This 36-year-old Warrenton Pathfinder Special Olympian is at home in the water, and she has the medals to prove it, even if she is pretty modest about her award count at first.
20? Gotta be hundreds, couple hundred probably. Thank you, Mom. It's 100.
She's very good. She works really hard, and that's the key. As long as you work hard and you stay on pace, she never gives up. That's the biggest thing. You know, she wants to prove herself, and she does every single time.
Whether it's in the pool or at her job at the Warren County Sheltered Workshop, Libby works hard and always brings a smile.
Yes, Libby's been here for a little over a year, and she is a joy to have here. We've been here since 1978, and our mission is to employ people with disabilities. It can be any type of disability. It can be physical, developmental, it can be a health condition. We welcome any disabilities at all.
That happiness just flows from her, so it's hard to not have a smile on your face when you're around Libby.
Her co-workers know she's a champ in the pool, and now more than 500,000 people online know too. After Libby won another gold and broke her own personal record at the State Summer Games a few weeks ago, the pride could not help but show through.
Are you good?
And that coach Libby's embracing, well, that's Coach Eric. And these two have been friends for a long time.
I'm a good coach. I remember him a long time ago. I broke records. Eric is proud of me also.
Libby and I go back to when we were middle school, high school-ish, and we swam on the same team. It was a little surprising to me. I didn't expect her to break down, and I was extremely proud of her, and I know she was proud of herself, and I think that was the gist of it. She was just so proud of herself she couldn't contain it anymore.
Channel 5 News 10.
You're going to be on the news?
Yes, Emma.
Libby's gold medal moment is a reminder of what sports at its best can be, and what Special Olympics can mean to the athletes and their families.
They all celebrate each other. I mean, it's other athletes celebrating each other, other teams, other counties. They all just celebrate each other and uphold each other.
It's everything to them, everything. You know, they get to feel like everybody else, you know, on an everyday basis when they're doing their sports.
Go tell.
And while the medals are nice, Libby has an even better way to sum up what her prowess in the pool really means. Why do you love to swim?
Swim is my life.
Yeah. It's your life?
Yes.
The Special Olympics of Missouri is always looking for volunteers to help create moments like the one you just saw. If you're interested in getting involved, you can visit somo.org. We'll be right back. As you saw tonight on NBC, Ross Chastain is the winner at the Ally 400 in Nashville. It's his first win since April of 2022, and he clinches a playoff spot. So how does he celebrate? Well, with the traditional burnout on the track, he got to smash a watermelon, and he takes home a brand new guitar, fitting for Nashville. Time now for the Well First Health, Frankly Speaking, and to quote the immortal Yogi Berra, it sure gets late early out there. We're almost in July. That's not early in the season anymore. And the Cardinals are 13 games under 500. The time for a big run has to be now, or perhaps when and if it does come, it'll all be too late. The Reds may run away with the division, and 2023 will be one of the biggest duds in recent and even not so recent memory. There's been lots of talk about blame, but I'm an equal opportunity blamer. The front office knew the rotation was being held together with scotch tape and well wishes. The manager always gets the blame for faltering fundamentals. And of course, the players aren't playing up to expectations. If this reality carries all the way to October, all three of those guilty parters will have some major explaining to do. That's our show for tonight. For producer Andy Moeller, I'm Corey Miller. Have a great night, St. Louis.